to have the personality to say no. You need to have the personality to say no. Never feel forced to say yes in a situation in which you don't want to say yes. The child needs to understand that he has the right always to say no. Okay? And that then I would directly slice the probe droids. I think it's these big ones. Has to be this one. So the child needs to understand that he is to have the personality to say no. That is the thing. And what other things, I would tell him, they are going to tell you this, they are going to tell you that. They are going to tell you that oh, you are not taking the you are not taking the candy. I would tell him that hang on, I have to slice them like this. That's why.
It's damaged, but we can't chance it sending an alert.
Okay, when
the droid is sending an all clear. Ras and his weird signal did it. I'm also getting locations for additional droids in the
okay,
area.
we need to do 5 of these. Dang, I wish my parents had told me that that the gorilla classmates are the weird and stupid ones and not me. Well, that is another thing. Yes, precisely, Patrick. That's another thing. The what I commented to you the other day about the restaurant. I would tell him precisely this. Think what is easier. I would tell the child, imagine that you have under your responsibility a group of people. Okay? To the child, huh? You have under your responsibility a group of people. A group of people. What's easier from your perspective? Out of 20 people, correct one, or tell the other 19 in the room that they are all wrong, and to discipline them. Well, as evident as it is, people, for all of us here, and for the child will be evident as well, because they are not stupid, it is easier. The child will arrive to the logical deduction, will reach the logical deduction that it's easier for any ruler to tell one person that he's weird or that there's something wrong with him, rather than assuming the responsibility of correcting the other 19 in. Hey, I don't know what's going on with this shit. It's not reacting today. I don't know what's wrong with this shit. It's easier to correct. Well, looks like it stopped. Yeah, it's like this. It's like this game, people. Looks like it. Well, not all of it. It's easier for any ruler. Correct. Tell one person that he's weird, rather than take up the responsibility on his shoulders of correcting the other 19 who are behaving like pigs. I would tell them that. People are stupid. Yes, I would tell that to my child, that people are stupid. But I would explain why. People are stupid or ignorant in general. I think I overkilled that one. Because precisely they didn't have the fortune of having good parents like you have, I would tell to the child. Can it develop egoism? This is what I'm mentioning, that the rest of the people are stupid. Can it develop egoism? It can, but still I would pick a bit of egoism. None of us can reach a perfection. I would still pick a bit of egoism over drugs that go to the front left lobe of the brain, or the person having no personality to say no. Having no personality to say no is like much more dangerous than developing a bit of egoism. Because at the end of the day, the egoism can lead to a self-defense of 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 our psychological conception of me and others, of the formation of our personality. I'd rather pick that. I'd rather pick that than than a child who doesn't have completely 100% clear that if a group of people, I would tell to the child, they are going to offer you this, they are going to offer you that, they are going to offer you this, in that sense, and they are killing themselves. You have to say no because they are killing themselves, and I don't want you to kill yourself because I love you. That's the part that they don't understand. Oh well, in the perfect example, I didn't take egoism. I took depression instead and melancholic social emptiness. Well, that, that, or that. I'd rather have a child be a bit egoist, but not damaged by those things. In that sense. Because at the end of the day, what would be the egoism? Thinking that everyone else is stupid. If it's a reality, if no one has the personality to say no, and in a group of 20, 19 are taking the candy, and one isn't, the reality is the 19 are stupid, the 19 are more ignorant, let's say it with a proper definition. They have a farther away, accurate perception of objective metaphysical reality. Instead of saying that they are stupid, to be clear, they have a farther away, distorted perception of objective metaphysical reality than someone who says no. Well, we can detect stupid people by their voice and volume easily.
Wait, we're just technicians.
You work quite cold.
Who? No, Darmanda hired us. Look, we came straight from orbit. No questions asked. Some kind of top secret thing, okay? We're here to check on some droids. Then you have no value. Hold on! Darmanda has another group of techs down here. They're setting up a relay station to cut through all the storm interference. All comms will go through there. That's worth something to you, right?
What are you doing? Bask will kill us! Where's the relay station?
Bad move.
You must be the smart one. Talk. I don't know. Not exactly. But here, take this. Maybe there's something that can help in there. So, what happens with me?
You get out of here.
We need to keep you quiet for now.
What? Risky.
Maybe. Let's get this back to Ras.
We can detect stupid people by their voice volume. How does that work, Patrick? No, why? No, why? No, just so it's not, so we don't lose perspective. There are no stupid people. There are people who have far away or close perceptions from describing objective metaphysical reality which exists. Okay? And in a room in which 19 people take the candy, and one doesn't, the one who doesn't, even if he's egoist, as you are mentioning, the reality is, objective reality is, he will not have his front left lobe of the brain impaired by taking the candy, and the other 19 will. So objectively, who was more intelligent? The one that didn't take it. The one that didn't take it. In a context of recreational purposes that we are mentioning, of the friends trying to teenagers growing up and saying, why don't you try this? You are a pussy. You are a coward or whatever, and etc. In that context, the one who has a brain is objectively the one that didn't take it, and that is meant to be rewarded, not let's say criminalized as egoism. Why? If objectively the person is not going to cause a self-damage and the others are, if objectively that's the reality, the other 19 are going to 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 cause a huge damage to themselves that will impair a lot of probabilities in the future of developing their brains, and this one not. Why would I call egoist someone who used his brain? It's not fair. Constant yelling the same fucking meme all fucking day. That's how you can detect now, Gorilla. Gorilla, that is the 2026 skin. It's been like that for a while. So they just spam a meme all day. They just spam a meme all day. They cannot talk. Well, that's another thing.
I would see it paid. A few more blasters to make sure we don't get eaten by some kind of rock monster.
That's a key. When you are unable to express yourself, yeah, spamming legit. Like they cannot talk, you say, Patriot. They cannot fucking talk. They cannot hold a sentence.
Even if they're glitchy.
A conversation. They cannot hold a conversation. The attention span.
For much longer. When the time is right, it'll be a firestorm. That relay station gives us an advantage on the ground and might put us on Hedda's trail.
About that, maybe let us handle the relay station? I've got an idea about that trail you're looking for.
Go on.
Well, the data from the device got me thinking about Hedda's base.
You know where it is.
I remember we are chasing the African Mandalorian lady. That I didn't get my Italian. I still didn't get my Italian Sith lady here, so I feel offended. They talk in meme terms.
This is good.
Interesting.
Few places her base could be. We'll need to do
They
this
talk
on
in
foot.
meme terms.
Wish I had my
So
old
they are
hunters
unable to
too.
express themselves with words.
You had a dog?
A strill.
Oh, they're the best.
Ras.
Right. Okay. Yes. Second team will head to the relay tower, and you two will search for the base.
Let's get going then.
So they just spam
Something I've been working on. Let's you listen in on the bad guys. Might
drawings
be handy.
like
I'll go prep.
Pepe the Frog,
Give this signal
things
when
like
we're ready
that.
to move.
They are unable to. They are unable to express themselves with words. That is quite dangerous, people. That is quite dangerous. Because when you lose the ability to express yourself with language, see, this makes sense with the tattoos. When you
I assume he meant my back too.
Has he had any issues since being
when you
Not really.
lose the ability
He's
to
very
express
enthusiastic
yourself
about
with
telling everyone what
words,
to do.
since human beings need to express
It's
ourselves.
strange. Well, no.
Well, get out of here. He's just talking to them here. Well, this is an easy reward though. When you lose the ability to express yourself properly with words, that's why it's important.
I knew you'd be a part of this hunt as soon as your name came up back on Odessan. I appreciate any we don't know what
Scan for hit goals based on the party. Okay, where? Okay, over there. So when you lose the ability to express yourself properly with words, that's why it's important for children to read books. Going back to your question, Patrick, another thing I would do is that I would make the child read books since a very young age. Maybe not as much as I did. I could spend 8 hours reading straight at 7 years. But I would encourage it because that way it's much more than looking intellectual as an ignorant person would perceive it. It's not just looking. When you read a lot as a child, you can properly. Human beings need to. We need to express ourselves. Okay, people. We need to express ourselves, no matter what. We need to express our thoughts. Now, the efficiency of how you express those thoughts is determined by your usage of vocabulary. What we cannot express with our usage of vocabulary and proper grammar and etc., what we cannot express like that, we are sadly forced to express it in other ways. Be it a tattoo, being rebellious with our attitude, whatever, we need to express, okay? We express our thoughts. We need to express them, okay? In one way or the other. When we don't express them with words, not only we won't be as efficient as with words, because it's the most complex and complete way of expressing, but we will also damage ourselves. Okay, so that's why, going back to the other question of how to raise children, it should be imperative and mandatory that the child reads books
This is a waste of
since 7 years.
Be patient.
Okay,
Line of Ronga has been very generous. Our place is assured when this war is
okay,
over.
and you could think,
I figured we'd see them around.
but that's way too old
Like
school.
I
It's
said
not
before,
like a video
don't
game.
want money.
There's a
The
problem.
Empires got rich
Unless
like
the
plunder
game,
during the Mandalorian Wars generations ago. They want those days back, and head is the answer.
you could
She
say, but
sees the
there are
independence of
games,
that time as the purest
there
form
are
of honor.
movies.
Problem is, mistaking greed for righteousness almost destroyed us.
Now I read the picture. Yeah?
Let's move out.
Well, I formed an idea today. I believe that when you hit a certain level of wisdom, you can't be friends with a gorilla because you feel pity. Well, exactly, because you feel pity. And a respectful individual deserves a friend that reflects himself a bit. Yeah. Just keep the part of a bit there because we cannot pretend people to be exactly like that. Well, yes. What you are mentioning is correct. If the difference of intellect is just way too big, it is impossible. It is impossible. There needs to be a minimum, even if you disagree on a lot of things, there needs to be a minimum shared amount of maturity and intellect in that sense. For the friends at the gorillas over at high school, you have that problem. Yes, that's why I told you the environment is important, contrary to what most people say. Of no, but but it doesn't matter whatever. No, yeah, the environment does matter. A person who can reach all of the conclusions that you can see we could reach here is simply
If you don't report in, I have to
will
come
get
over.
depressed.
That makes your plan look incompetent. I answer to the field marshal, not you. Educate this new recruit, or it's on you. Clear? Yes, Recon. I will bleed him and his sister. Recon earned his glory in blood. Don't shame me again in front of him.
Grab your gear. We're on watch for the landing area.
They mentioned the landing area.
Let's take a closer look.
Recon mean anything to you?
No. Let's go.
So basically that eventually the person will be depressed as as he cannot share his thoughts. He cannot share his thoughts. He's, it reaches a point where you are speaking a different language when 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 a certain amount of when there's a huge gap of maturity with the friends that you are mentioning, Patrick. It reaches a point where you end up speaking a different language. There's an episode. There's an episode of a regular show, old one, that explains it. In which, imagine it's like this: you end up taking. Imagine the characters end up taking an energy drink that makes them more intelligent, and they end up drinking so much of it that they are unable to understand anything. They are unable to understand anything. It's very pretty well treated. The topic. They end up being unable to understand anything around them, and they cannot understand their own friends, and they need to go back. There's also a chapter of SpongeBob that does this as well, pretty well done. That is pretty much like that. That is pretty much like that. You end up not understanding, but it is good that you develop the ability to feel pity in that sense.
See anything?
Pity and lots of patience required for the very few cases that have hope in that sense. With the gore, we should name this chapter of this section of the stream "The Attack of the Gorillas," people. The Attack of the Gorillas.
Blasted heat and animals.
Something going on. Your techs didn't report in either.
First of all, they don't report to Varad. Second, the comms are a mess. Don't worry about it.
The field marshal wants that relay station up and running now.
Patrol's done. I'm off the clock.
You worthless Minarch lovers. Grab your truck, people. We're checking on that relay station.
A Varad patrol is headed right for our people.
We break comm silence to warn them. We risk jeopardizing this whole mission. They can handle themselves.
We need to help them if we can.
Power check. Okay, make the call. Keep it short.
Second team, you hear me?
I hear you. Comms aren't secure. This is bad news, isn't it?
Large, heavily armed squad headed in your direction. Approaching your flank.
Got it. We'll be ready.
Oh, and by the way, notice another thing
Let's see
in
if we can
him,
find a way
in
into
the
that
gorilla.
landing area.
I know. Wait, I skipped another message. As you said, I should keep my contact with my friend, who is the well-mannered but underestimates philosophy. But he doesn't reflect me anymore. It is like I'm speaking another language at this point. Oh, and by the way, I noticed another thing in him. I'm speaking another language at the point.
Surprise?
Yes, but
Just asking. Spirit of communication and all that.
Movement! Perimeter breached!
Let's see what we got.
There's more coming!
Time to even the odds.
you notice another thing. Yes. Keep contact with a well-mannered and he doesn't reflect me anymore. I'm like speaking another. No, yeah. It's like that. It's like that, Patrick. But don't. That is the risk of supreme intellect. Be careful. Do not just completely isolate yourself completely. I'm sure there has to be some that well, they don't reflect exactly the perfect, the high level that
No, but something
you
is
might have
disrupting the
reached
comms, and
in
it's
that
not the
sense,
store.
that you reached in that
Whatever it is,
sense.
it's giving off a strong signal. Let's find it.
I am sure there are, I'm sure no, I've seen and I met uh, lots of people throughout life that even if they do not perfectly reflect that, it can pretty much give you a good
Comm tower.
conversation, and you will feel comprehended in that sense. You will feel that you are not speaking a different language with the gorillas and etc. So no. Make sure to never give up the search. Never give up the search for the good people who are worth it. No, don't stay completely isolated because then otherwise
Cargo reference 011 SOV2. These artifacts are tagged to be reviewed today. You think it's the Field Marshal's new recruit?
We don't know.
because once we reach those conclusions, we
Quality
end up
vessels,
not
mostly carriers
growing
and long-haul
in that
ships being
sense.
repurposed for her fleet. More on the way.
They're a shard.
We need to get in there and cut communications so her fleet can't be mobilized. We've been lucky so far.
Do not stop searching. Do not give up on on the on humanity's hope of improving, of the average being better. That's the thing. That's the idea. The problem with today's society as well is that they put the average, they define the average by the lowest common denominator. By the lowest common denominator. That's why they start just inventing mental problems like the ADHD and the autism and etc. for most of the population, because they like lowering the average. What's this? They like lowering the average to the lowest common denominator of the population. And no, the average should be by the highest common denominator of the population, and the rest make an effort to reach it, not grab the rest of the people and lower the standard to the lowest common denominator. No, it's the other way. Oh, and by the way, notice another thing in your friend. Okay, the well-mannered one that but underestimates philosophy. So let's say my friend has a good friend. Okay, let's call him N. So N and my friend's friendship is based around mocking each other verbally or even physically, jokingly or whatever nonsense this is. No, it's like animals. Animals express themselves like that because they don't have words. If you see two dogs communicating, how do they communicate? By pushing each other, by biting each other. It's how they can express themselves. All matter in the universe and beings, we that are matter pretty much, we need to express ourselves. When we are unable to do it with words, we do it like that, uh, physically or whatever. It's like the language of the idiots. See, it's like the language of the gorilla. The gorilla. Think about the real gorillas, Patrick. Ironically, how would the gorilla communicate with another gorilla? They do this. They just smash their chests. They maybe smash the ground. They maybe start emitting sounds. They start emitting sounds like animals. Nah, bro, I love your opinion. Sorry, also. Yeah, well, you asked me how I would tell it to a child. I would tell it like this. I would tell it like this. I would tell it like this. When people are unable to express with words, they start to express like animals. Like I am describing. Pretty much. So I didn't end up reading. So jokingly or whatever nonsense this is, so they express themselves mocking each other verbally or physically. In this case, N is the dominant one. Well, see, not even reading it. And even after this, my friend follows N everywhere, talks to him much more than me, etc. Like animals. Nah, bro, I love your opinion, so real. It is like that. No, but it's real. It's real. Human beings are not animals. Are not animals. Because our brain has suffered mutations severe enough as to develop logic. At that point, we cease to be animals. However, if we decide to deliberately ignore logic for whatever reason, and if we deliberately choose to express ourselves through any other means without humanity's greatest invention that we have, like right there, if we ignore every single possible idea of developing, well, yeah, you go back to being a fucking animal. You can go back. We are not animals, but we can choose to go back to being such in that sense. If you deliberately ignore the probability that was developed throughout, think about the dates, people. We're talking about 2,000 years. You are deliberately ignoring the probability of expressing yourself with humanity's greatest invention and development throughout 2,000 years. Okay, more than 2,000 years. Uh, so, and you decide to express yourself, what was it? Mocking each other verbally or even physically for whatever reason this nonsense is. And N is the dominant. Well, yeah, it reverts back to a state of nature. Well, they do it for an entertainment purpose, which either they are disanimalistic or they are have a boring life. Might be both. No, the thing is that Patrick, it's like this. It's part. You replayed correctly the second part. When we humans need a purpose in life. We need purposes because we are not like animals. We are not like the gorillas. We develop logic. The second you develop logic, it involves a lot of things, like the search for purpose, understanding the fabric of the universe, etc. Now, if this is the natural state of humans, but deliberately, the person is unable to behave like anything other than a reverted animal state, or similar to animal state, because I guess there's always the hope that intellect will resurface. The person doesn't find any purpose in existence, and that is very frustrating. And just like animals who find the gorillas don't find any purpose in existence, what can they do? They are prisoners. They are prisoners of their instincts because they cannot explain why things happen. I got like 4 A's from my English teacher just by debating with her using my studies in realism. It's working well. No, what the fuck? Don't tell. No, what the fuck? You didn't tell me that. You got several A's just debating with your teacher, speaking with me. Well, because it's an interesting combination that I know both how to express myself properly in English first, and second that I know about philosophy. So it elevates. But it's what I tell you, people. There's an old Roman phrase that is something that this society doesn't understand. You need to set the average of society by the highest common denominator of the individuals, not the lowest one. No, the one that has to set the example is the most intelligent, and no, that's not a scientist. That's not a scientist, people. It's not a scientist. Depending on the field that we are talking about, the person who put in effort to reach the most accurate perception of objective metaphysical reality. I know that I am using a lot of weird words for common people, but my intention is to elevate the average. The problem of this society is that it sets the average to the lowest common denominator when it should be the highest common denominator. So the rest of the elements gravitate, they go around the average of the highest common denominator, not the lowest one.
My master was murdered.
Condolences. Now put that thing down.
No.
I know you. Your picture was featured in my reports from Elon. It's Sahar. Padawan Sahar. Malgus slew your master, did he not?
How do you... I know who you are. Stay back.
Sahar, it's Rakan. Where are you? I need you to bring that holocron back to...
Shay!
Where's Hedekol?
Enough! None of us will get what we want this way.
Tell her to back off.
Well, my friend,
Darth Null's holocron. What did Malgus want with it?
Patrick, you got
Get out of
4
here. I don't
A's.
know anything that can help you.
You're telling me you got 4 A's just by you are somehow cheating school by chatting with me. You are cheating school by chatting with me. Now I realize at least your English lessons. It's just way too much for your teacher. What did you tell him? You started telling him about realism. Well, I hope she elevates herself in that sense. Well, my friend follows and talks with N much more because he found a guy on his level. On his level. Not on his level. Well, it's like that. You speak a different language and the gorilla is unable to the gorilla is unable to understand you. Well, at least you know how it feels to be me.
You will not survive on your own. Join us.
So the well-mannered gorilla found N.
Gone! And she destroyed my tracker. We got nothing. Harchuk! It's only a matter of time before she sounds the alarm and brings an army back here. Come on. We need to ground the whole operation until we locate Hedda.
What were you thinking? You're letting your obsession with Heta destroy you.
I didn't ask for your opinion. Let's move out.
It is reality, should be the reply. But of course we cannot contradict the spoiled Mandalorian lady here.
This has to be the command center.
4 A's you got
See if
from
you can
your
find out where
English
Head is
teacher.
hiding. I'll
That's
scan
why
for an
debating with her
unrelated
using
piece.
my studies in realism is working, boss.
For Heta's base.
But you are cheating. Well, no, you're not cheating because you put in effort
Bring Hedda to
in
me.
chatting with me and the
This place
curiosity
to
and
dust.
everything. Now
Cut
I'll
off
say you
comms
earn
and
it
send up a flare she can't
pretty well.
move.
But
It will take some time for Sahar to warn Heta.
well, then I'm
We have to act
I'm
now.
flattered.
Unless you have a
I'm
better
flattered
idea,
you got 4
I'm taking
A's
this place out and
because
setting
of
off every
that your
alarm.
teacher liked. How was her reaction, if
You
I
have
may
an
know,
idea?
when exposed to realism coming from a relativist world?
A
That must have
strill,
been a
yeah.
moment,
Why?
a quite interesting
Heta's
moment.
dogs would enjoy a game of fetch.
A false alarm.
I have 12
Send a
A's
fleet to
and
chase
1
into
B
space.
in
We have
English,
to leave the
so I
comm
was
center in
good
one
before
piece.
you. Now I'm the
I like
best in
messing with
class.
Hedda's toys, but I don't want to miss a chance to cripple her network.
Uh,
Don't be foolish. We can remove their entire fleet with the
12 A's and one.
Watch your
12
tongue,
A's and
Sith.
1 B in English.
Get it
See?
done
No,
before
the
I
best
change my mind.
class. Uh, well, look at that. Now you are the best thing. Glad
Now
I
cut
could
all communication to
increase the
ships.
average. As I
Can't
tell
have
you,
the
it's
dogs
like
being
this. This
called
is the
back
problem
too
of
soon.
society. Patrick.
Wouldn't be able to if we blew the whole place up.
Eh,
Okay. Let's see if anything around here leads to head up.
it's what I tell you. That's the problem with modern society. The average is set to the lowest common denominator, when it should be the highest common denominator of a group. That's how humanity has progressed. If I tell people, imagine I tell people the opposite. Imagine I tell them that okay, since this gorilla can't get A's in English, for example, or whatever, imagine the worst student of the class. Imagine Patrick, the worst student of the class, of the whole classroom. Imagine if I tell people that if that one cannot get all of those A's and etc., we are going to lower the lessons so that one doesn't feel bad about his own stupidity. Imagine that I do that. That's what it was tried, what they tried to do. That's what they did, inventing illnesses and etc. That are not real, like the autism, like the ADHD, and etc. But imagine that on a grand scale. That I tell society that every time, because there's a gorilla who cannot who cannot understand basic concepts, the rest of us, we have to lower our skills so that one doesn't feel bad about his stupidity instead of working on it. Imagine what would happen to society. Everyone would become dumb. Everyone would become stupid. It's what's going on right now. If that scared you people, that is what has been happening. That's what has been happening. That's what has been happening in the last 15 years. If that scares you, that is the reality of what they tried to do. Okay? Apparently, we were way too intelligent in the 90s, in the early 2000s, to control, pretty much. So Obama had to ensure this, that the lowest common denominator, would determine the average, the expected average of a whole group. That is the key. You cannot do that. No, simply no. You have to set the average to the highest common denominator, to the student that got all A's and B's, is all A's and etc. The one that performed the best, because that will make the others better, more intelligent. If we instead tell them, well, no, since gorilla here is stupid, so he doesn't feel bad.
Stay sharp.
We are all going to be as stupid as him. Okay, so he doesn't feel bad. No, that's not empathy. That is setting the average of society to the lowest common denominator of it.
Nothing so far. We might need to make more noise.
Okay?
Find anything?
A
few pieces from the Spirit of Vengeance. The Ashad had very
And
specific
when you do that,
goals in mind with that attack.
the only intention that I can deduce out of all of this is making society as a
I
whole
didn't expect
stupid.
someone following the Jedi ways to be fighting for Head of Cole. What do you think is happening there?
It was Malgus. The encounter left a scar. No one, few, could walk away unscathed.
True. It's always better to understand what he wants than to get in his way. Hard lesson to learn. I'm not finding anything here. Let's move on.
So regarding going back to the question of children and etc., children are a clean slate. So you cannot set the lowest common denominator as the average of society, because when you have a clean slate, as I told you, you cannot take anything for granted. Everything has to be explicitly explained, starting with the first lesson that the parents love him. Okay? You are on the right path when gorillas are starting to hate you because they think you are boring and weird. Well, yes indeed, Patrick, yes indeed. In my case, my classmates... Careful, Patrick. In my case, my classmates didn't hate me. They admired me. They admired me. Okay? So, but that's because of how Italian society is, I guess. I get what you're saying. And that would be a more common reaction nowadays. Pretty much. Oh, I am feeling offended. The African Mando girl. Yes, yes, indeed. Eh, I'm beginning to feel offended. I'm beginning to feel offended. I'm beginning to feel offended. There's no Italian Sith lady here for us to have. You're on the right path when gorillas are starting to hate you because they think you are boring and weird. Well, it's because they cannot explain. Because they cannot explain pretty much.
Well, not who I was hoping to catch. I shouldn't be surprised. Sahar mentioned she ran into you. Your attempts to question her loyalty failed. There's nothing stronger than family. You look uncomfortable. At least I know Bask wasn't lying about the power of these sonic weapons.
And Shay?
And hey, no hard feelings. I know there's a lot of drama between us, but that's all ancient history.
But no Shay, I see. Anything to avoid her duties as Mandalore. No doubt she'll be along soon to face me.
She will enjoy ending this. So will I.
Such confidence. She wants you to believe this is all for a noble cause. Shay has always been a reluctant Mandalore, choosing to chase me rather than lead.
This sentence levitated in my brain this morning when I saw the super duper gang. The super duper gang, what the fuck is that? As they call themselves, yelling together, talking in mere terms.
Expected, but your involvement is a delicious wrinkle. You were doing so well, slithering around like a chakar, and the ploy with my ships? Clever. But I'll let you in on a secret. Warning your minions gave your little invasion away. I've never much cared for Darjetti, but I like you. So, do I use you as bait or cut your throat?
Enough! I challenge you. Face me with honor, or show your followers what you truly are.
Shay. Hell.
This is so stupid. Of course, no man could be in this position of
I accept. The standard trappings are right here and now.
Anytime, anywhere.
Ruh-Nuk is a
Of
dull
course, no
place.
man could
Let's
lead the
give my
Mandalorians
people a
here, people.
show.
That's an indignity. We are not fit for this. Thankfully, Disney is
Take
going
her.
bankrupt. It will go bankrupt. Fortunately, for all of the prostitution they've done. In that sense, this included. I would sentence them to prison for life for all the damage, including Obama.
Bring him.
But
And
pretty
the
much,
problems in
pretty
transport,
much.
it's your head, Darmanda.
So the sentence limited in when you the super duper gang, as they hang on, Patrick, hang on. With the cinematic, I got lost. You're telling me the gorillas call themselves the super duper gang, yelling together. There must be a solid foundation for your friendship where you mock and hurt each other for 8 hours a day. Indeed. So they call themselves a super duper gang.
I'm sure
A
the Thor
gang.
Council has some
We
great
are already
ideas.
using criminal
She always does.
language. Criminal language. Nice. I mean, they call themselves gang. Okay, so criminal language. Okay, criminal language. We already got criminal language. Romanticization of crime.
All right.
Next, they are going to traffic candy. Yes, because in
Perhaps they could
Hungary
do a
there is no gang.
They've been
What do you
taken.
mean there is no gang?
Duel? Of course. Okay. Listen, you remember that weird droid signal we used earlier? A new one popped up on my scanners, led me right here. I thought you sent it, but clearly not. Shay was leaving a trail to follow. This is Hedda's base. If those two are gonna fight, it's here.
What do you mean there is no gang? I mean they call themselves gang.
Then let's hope Shay hasn't killed her without us.
Agreed.
There
I got
is
to get a
no
little payback
gang.
myself after the relay station. Now that was a fight.
So what's next? They are going to
Once we got
to
in, they
traffic
worked on securing
candy
comms,
together.
but we were interrupted by that Verona
So
Patilli
the
water
gorillas
squad.
communicate
Left for them
themselves
a bad surprise
verbally
party.
with the
Covered section for
dominant
the ones that got
gorilla,
away.
let's say,
I'm surprised
and
you risked the
and
comms.
and which is N, and the other one.
It would have been foolish to give the enemy the advantage of your death.
I'll take that as a compliment. I think. One
So
more thing. I heard a lot of chatter at the relay station about a false alarm. That mean anything to you?
Hedda's ships are coming back. We don't have much time.
Never do. We need to get a message to Jakaya and the fleet. Maybe you can leverage a tactical advantage if it comes to it.
First things first.
Right. Find Shay, shoot Hedda, and bring this whole place down. A few more of these should be a good start, right?
Let's go.
So, I mean, the word gang doesn't exist. Okay, in Hungarian, it doesn't exist. We don't have criminal organizations, only our own government. Okay, yeah. It's pretty much like in Argentina. That is the same. Okay, so they watched a few U.S. rappers video clip and they stole the slang. Okay, okay. I see. Okay. All right. Now I get you. So the word gang in Spanish it does exist. Okay. It doesn't exist in Hungarian. So they call themselves the super duper gang. the gang, sorry, not the super duper. The gang, because they are proud in adapting the criminal culture of the worst part of the Americas that we have here, not in Argentina, but in Central America, in Mexico, in some zones of the United States. Okay. So they want to import evil. They want to import the worst parts of the Americas. They could import so many good things that we have. The feeling of the spirit of investment that is less risk adverse in terms of the economy. They could import, I don't know, they try to commerce with the natural riches that we are having. We are having the treaty people in some months between um, South America and the European Union. In case you don't know, there's a lot of complaints because a lot of our local economies will have to adapt. But the treaty is fortunately coming together after 20 years. There are so many good things. There are so many good things that they could import, but no, it has to be Mexico's, well, and Central America in general, not only Mexico. Uh, Candy gangs. Okay, just like Obama romanticized. Cool. Okay, so hey, where do I have to plant the explosives? It doesn't say. What the fuck? Where do you plant the explosives? I don't know why I'm under the impression that we'll have to that we'll spend a good way in this in this passage finding where to. Ah, no, there. Very small spot.
Explosive is set.
Ah, but it's one. What's happening at the entrance to the base? I can reply to that. Basically, it's broken. It doesn't load. It doesn't load. What happened to me at the beginning of the stream, people remember. So, well, it's like that, Patrick. The key of what you are asking me is precisely that. Are the dozens of peeps standing around? They must be doing roleplay. They must be doing roleplay. So basically, human being, all creatures need to express themselves. Okay, they need to express themselves. We need to express ourselves. So that's why it's important for children to read a lot precisely at those ages, 5, 7, etc. Why? Because that way they'll be able to express themselves with language. When we cannot express ourselves with language, okay, we start looking for alternative ways of expressing ourselves. And that's when people start doing tattoos. What if the child hates reading? He needs to understand that some things are to be done from the perspective of I must do this, not I like doing this. That not everything in life is done out of pleasure or hedonism. I wouldn't use the word hedonism, I would use pleasure instead. I would use simple words in the case of a child. So no, he needs to understand that some things are to be done from the perspective of I must do this, not I want to do this. I can want to do one thing or the other, but there are others that I must do. It's a duty, an obligation to ensure that we get an appropriate understanding of reality, that we get, but not that phrase, something simpler, that we grow up as good people, as wise people, something like that, in that sense. When you can read, you start searching for alternative ways of expressing yourself. In that sense, you start looking for alternative ways. That's where tattoos appear. That's when tattoos appear. That's when candy consuming appears, because you don't have personality at that point. You need to have personality. In that sense, I do agree with the initiative that the European governments are taking of eliminating internet for anyone under 18, but it should have been the parents the ones who should have done it, not the governments. But well, if the parents failed, I guess the only option is for I still think it's a healthier alternative that the parents do it. Parents should accustom their children to the right kinds of joys and and pains. Yes, yes, exactly. That's the idea. You tell me, what if the child doesn't like reading? What if the child doesn't like? That is from Aristotle. I read it this morning. You tell me, what if the child doesn't like reading? Well, I would tell him that him or her, in that sense, that
Hang on, let me check something.
but him is by default
Okay,
in
looks
all
like I can get a
languages
message out to
usage.
Jakaya through this, but it's gonna take some time. Down there is a service tunnel into the main area. It kills me, but I have to stay here and do this. Hedda's fleet can't be far away. Find Shay. I'm counting on you.
So basically, I would tell the child that some things are to be understood from that perspective. From I must do this, I must read to not be an ignorant. Not I want or I would like to be playing a game or whatever. No, I must. I must. I have to do it because any other outcome is not acceptable. Not because of me being a parent that wants something perfect or anything. Merely
I want to show you something.
merely
A
because
weapon. One of the greatest ever created. It's
I
been
don't want the
honed,
person to be ignorant.
tested,
Out of love
and
is
delivered
different.
to devastating effect.
It's absolutely
On
different.
every one of us. The banner of Clan Kadera. Mandalore the Vindicated made us puppets of other powers. When the Kaderas resisted, he branded them traitors. My parents stood with them. For defending Mandalorian honor, they were slaughtered. This banner has
I
been
am
a symbol
offended,
of shame
people.
for
I am
decades.
offended
A
that there's
bloody
no
reminder of
Italian
what
Sith
happens when you
lady.
don't obey. Those who would keep us silent are the enemy. Are we not the greatest warriors in the galaxy?
I am offended, people. I
Are
am
we not
offended.
worthy of
It
forging
had to
our
be
own
the African
destiny?
Sith Mando lady, the one to lead.
Then we
None
must
other. She
fight.
couldn't be white, of course.
First, by
Eh,
destroying
and,
our
and,
enemy's
and, and,
greatest
and,
weapon,
and she couldn't
our
have any kind
obedience.
of Western, uh, facial feature. Of course, she had to be the African Mando lady, telling us what to do. Of course, it couldn't be a man. Of course,
Then, by exposing their
we are
weakness,
just not enough, not enough. Pretty
Come
much.
and face me. Gladly, pretender.
Now I read it. Well, the more liberal parents fear that if they discipline the child with reading, the child grows up hating the parents, doing drugs with the child when the child is free. And I say, oh, that's a huge insecurity. No, no, no. That's a huge insecurity. Okay. Okay, so that's what you mean, Patrick. Okay, so they fear that the liberal parents from Obama's period, that if they don't that if they discipline their children, with reading and all of those things, they would hate them, and and because of that, then they would end up doing all of that. Okay. What, drop frames?
Something's wrong. Shay is in trouble.
Oh, but that's cheating. The Monliber feared that if they disciplined the child grows up hating the parents, doing the candy when the child is free and plus an 18 plus. Okay. Okay, but for me it means that they think certain babies can be born as an evil prick, and the baby has a gene to do. No. That's a no. That's a no. That's a. We are not born evil or good in that sense. No. That's a more Protestant conception of life, Patrick. In that sense, it's a more Protestant conception of life, and that's more liberal than a Catholic one. It is true that for Protestantism, it's always been the case that people have the evil. We have it inside of us, like that by default. It's the opposite of Catholicism. It is true. It's derived from that. The problem is that people don't know where it's derived from. It's rooted deep in our consciousness. This idea, but it's wrong. We are not born evil. Humanity is not evil. Humans are not evil at all. Nothing at all. They become evil with their acts. The acts determine a person's the person being either objectively good or evil. In that sense, libels are a clean sheet of paper, as we future parents should draw beautiful arts on it. Yep, precisely. Yeah.
Just making sure Hedda ends up on top. I got a lot riding on this. It took 4 of these babies to stop you, so I figured if I use just one on Shea Vizsla,
this person is dead.
Much better for me. Hedda doesn't know about this, of course. Don't want to step on her precious honor.
Shut it off.
Wait, hear me out. If Hedda wins, I get a huge payday. Huge!
You are
you
dead.
Let me finish this my way, and Darmanda walks away from Hedda's pointy horns and anything to do with the hidden chain. She loses our support. You understand me?
I don't care.
Hey.
You are dead.
Darmanda supplies your side a fat discount on weapons, supplies, whatever, for the war. Between you and me, Shay ain't looking too good. You might as well get something out of this. Walk away.
You are as good as dead.
And that is Hedda's fleet arriving. Let me guess. Your fleet? We're out of time. Leave right now, and Darmanda drops out of this and backs your side instead. So, what's it gonna be?
Oh, I'll tell you what it's going to be. Why is this evil? If this person is no, if this person is cheating, evidently all of the circumstances around her are cheating. This shouldn't be evil, no. But it could interfere with Shay's sense of honor. Why is it dropping frames? Now I get to the question, Patrick. Now as I choose. The more liberal parents fear that if they discipline their child with reading, the child grows up hating the parents, doing the candy, the drugs, when the child is free and positive. Well, but that means they don't trust in their own ability to raise children, because the second you tell the child that constantly that the parents love him and that it should be the first thing and not take anything for granted and etc. and all of those things, they don't believe on their actions having any impact, and that simply does not reflect reality and is ignorance on the parents that as I told you at the beginning of it, they were not prepared to stop behaving like teenagers, if they think that, because only a teenager can think that you do something and it has no consequences. So that is, if they discipline the child with reading, they need to understand that they are the parents and the other one is the clean slate, as you will describe as the children. If the children ends up when he's free and plus 18 doing the candy, then it's because of their own shitty actions, ironically, because they didn't put in enough effort, because they were busy with their jobs, because they were ignorant, because of whatever reason, they didn't put in enough effort. They didn't put in enough effort. That is the only reality of it. Why is it dropping frames if my connection is perfect? I don't see why this center option would be evil. I think the morality of the fucking developers is out of their minds by putting this evil, as he just used the machine on Shay, and well, but it could damage her honor and she wouldn't like it, so I will also respect her choice, I guess. But
This will be a fair fight, no matter the cost.
Thought you were smarter than this. Only an idiot passes up a sure thing.
oh, I will show you when I...
You wouldn't understand.
You just took a fucking missile.
You just cost me a lot of credits.
And you are dead. And you are fucking dead. And you are fucking dead. dropping frames. Yeah, I don't know what's with the engine of this thing that makes it drop frames. Okay, it's an all-out war. Perfect. Well, nice, 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 people. Good, good, good. I like the turn this has taken. Can we finally obliterate them all? Finally some killing. Good. So, I believe babies are a clean sheet of paper, and we future parents should draw beautiful art on it. Indeed, Paige, indeed. It's what I've been mentioning to you. That's the initial mistake that we've had with this generation of parents. They take things for granted, and that's a huge mistake. Because of that, what you are saying, a clean sheet of paper, you cannot take things for granted. You have to explicitly tell, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. So even when children are tempted by the candy dealing or whatever, they understand what is right and tell what is right from wrong. As simple as that. As simple as that. And it's objective. It doesn't have to do with our perception of it or anything like that. They need to understand this is objectively right, this is objectively wrong. This is objectively right, this is objectively wrong. If after that they choose the candy dealing and etc., you will have your consciousness clear that you did all you could as a parent to avoid it, okay? And even so, I think it would be a delayed pain for any parent who has that. Regarding that, that's where the environment comes into play, what I mentioned, the environment. I think the last most efficient act as parent, even if he's over 18 or whatever, I don't really give a shit about what age is the legal one to be independent. I think you don't magically become mature when you turn 18. That's just a stupid convention of society that has led to a lot of failure. I would eliminate that shit. Fortunately, the Italian customs here are like being 18 doesn't mean shit. And it does reflect reality because we have a lot of people of 18 years thinking that they know anything about life, and they are just victims of the Obama administration doing whatever they want with them. And in reality, we verified that the Italian perception of this is the correct one. In that sense, is the correct one. Because of this is the correct one. Because turning 18 doesn't magically make you mature. Okay? That is a thing. Turning 18 doesn't magically make you mature for anything.
Is that you? Must be my lucky day. Recon!
Because I got... okay. Mm.
You keep giving me the chance to kill you.
This is pathetic that a Dread Master is doing this this role of Mando fighting with all of these chumps. When we could just kill all of them. Oh, the Padawan. True. The confused Padawan. I couldn't... I consider myself as a good example. When I was in 9th grade, I was depressed but still refused to smoke with my classmates, even if I could have gained popularity to survive the 9th grade. That's way too young, first of all. That's way too young That's way too young. That's way too young to smoke, first of all. That's way too young to smoke, first of all, 9th grade. What age are we talking about? What age are we talking about? In that sense.
This isn't finished, traitor!
In Hungary, people start at 13, 14. Usually, okay. And 9th grade, what was it? Still refuse to smoke with my... Well, I congratulate you, because I got threatened in 9th grade and etc. Well, I bet that then now meeting me and getting the real explanation as to why people act like they act, at least gave you a bit of peace of mind in that sense, right? For me, it was always good understanding then why people acted like that.
Jakaya?
I'm right here. We're getting you out.
Where is she?
Heather's gone.
Archuk.
It's not over. We'll find her. You can bet on that.
Okay, so people usually start smoking at 13, 14 usually. Yeah. It's what I would, as I would tell the child. At those ages, people just are stupid and behave like gorillas. I wouldn't use the word gorilla. People are just stupid, and even
Just
beyond
a
that,
mass.
even beyond that, even adults,
Like secrets. Speak.
even beyond that, people really age at this point doesn't matter
Our
because
enemy
how
is
damn
called
society has become.
Khan. He's the one who singled me out during the fight. I swore I'd kill him the next time I saw him.
Okay, what do you need?
Thanks, that means a lot.
So
It's hard. Seeing him again brings it all back. 2 years ago, Rakan was part of a group helping the imps on Belsabas. They were good. Experienced, skilled, all that. The Republic hired their own team to stop them. Our sister Layla was in charge. There were casualties for both sides. The imp mission failed, but Rakan escaped.
so basically that.
Layla didn't make it.
I congratulate you,
Rakan
Paige,
blamed
because
us.
it's the correct
All
choice.
of
It's the
China
same that I,
for
well,
his
that I
failure.
did. I was never
He
offered
didn't
to
understand
smoke
why a
in the
mercenary
first
took
place.
things so personally.
I was never
It's clear
offered.
now.
I was never.
He was part of Hedda Cole's inner circle.
If someone offered me
He's
to smoke,
responsible for
I
losing
would
our
have told
best
the
people
person
on
to go to shit
Belsabas.
directly.
He failed her.
One thing is that
Not
I
just
am
the mission.
reserved. One thing is that I'm reserved, people, and another thing is 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 not sending people to shit for stupidity. You know that I would publicly execute drag lords and would directly. People confuse being respectful and being courteous and those things with being a coward, and they misunderstand, and they really misunderstand that no one would have offered me to smoke in high school. I can assure you of that. But why? Because there was a system that worked. When the system around you is pure anarchy, well, it's a difference. So I congratulate you, Patrick, for refusing to smoke. Your parents did a good job then. Your parents did a good job, and see that it's a very young age, ninth grade in that sense.
A shame you lived.
He was so close. I had him. You'll get another chance. He can't hide behind head of coal forever.
So good.
Come. We should see how Mandalore fares.
Good for your decision. A guy threatened me physically in 9th grade. He wanted me to wait in the bus stop after school to basically box. This guy got kicked out, and now he's the father of my classmates.
Fine, Jakaya. This new implant will take some getting used to, but I don't need a nursemaid.
That's for the
Child
best.
at 18.
None would put up with
What the
it.
fuck?
Great Mandalore.
All of those battles have loosened your brain as well as your tongue, wise arbiter.
Sorry to interrupt. We got nothing. After head of fleet
Threatened me
jumped.
physically in 19th.
Could
He
be
wanted me
anywhere.
to wait to the bus stop.
Did we find anything at the base?
Well, I have had
Those
something
techs you
like
ran
that,
into were
and
happy to go through head assistance,
similar
so
outcome, except the
keep
part of
searching.
having a child at
Kotfe
18.
aside, it's clear that Rakan's sister, Sahar,
The
was
guy
working
got
with Hedda.
kicked out, and now
And
he's the
she has a
father
Sith relic.
of my classmate's
Can't be
child
good.
at 18.
Now
Yeah,
this
I had
one,
that
and
one.
now Hedda
Quite
has it.
exactly the
I
same.
need to put her in the ground before this gets any
The
worse.
person also wanted me to wait at the
And
bus, and
now
I
for
just
some good
went
news.
into the
Tales of
institution
your victory have
and
traveled
and
faster than
and
the
told
best
him,
smuggler ships.
you better get out of here, or I will not only call the school, but a lot of other people
Mandalore, why
to
did you stop me from
to see
mentioning
what they
you for
think of
shame?
what you are doing. You will
It
be
was
a very
clearly there
wholesome
for her to
father.
I don't believe she was behind it.
At
Her
18, so
reputation would
he
suffer.
got
If
he
the
got kicked
machine
out.
was used on me,
The guy
I'd
that got
wager it was shut
kicked
down in
out, now at
Wouldn't you
18 he
agree?
had children already. Like at your age. He got kicked out, and now he's going to have children.
I wanted a fair fight.
A risky move considering the wounds I had taken. My life or my honor?
The choice was always clear, Shay.
You think like a Mandalorian. The duel was always mine to win or lose. No excuses. Hedda Cole and her hidden chain will need more than that to tear the Mandalorians apart. The hunt continues.
He will be a very wholesome father. Yes, indeed.
Nothing
At
will
18,
stand in my way.
especially at 18, he seems very well psychologically prepared to take on that role, the gorilla. We all know that a gorilla, as a father, certainly will not abuse his children and cause a disaster. And cause a disaster. We all know that. Pretty much. Well, uh, it's absolutely miserable that society has come to this situation thanks to Obama. We were so good in the 90s. We were so good. Believe it or not, the things didn't happen. It didn't happen. There was discipline. Any child who tried to do that,
Resourceful than I anticipated.
Won. With all my plans, all my preparation, she still won.
This was always a test, Field Marshal. One that you passed. A secret duel on a fringe planet.
This won't be a secret for long.
That only helps our cause. Win or lose, you stood your ground, and Shay needed a whole fleet to rescue her. Your movement, all of this, became real.
Very real, yes. My base is gone, and she's victory salting my wounds. We must prepare for war, even as we retreat.
I trust you will see us through.
What do you propose?
My sister has knowledge of a powerful new weapon.
Rakan,
What? Am I wrong? You hold the key.
that was just between us.
You promised to help me.
I will. There is nothing more important to me. But this weapon, it's too dangerous.
Then people with honor should control it. We both know the cost of being powerless.
And okay, here's the explanation.
A weapon? Is this true, Sahar?
Back in 10th,
Yes.
11th grade,
Darth
in his
Malgus
free time,
himself has his
he
eye on
searched up my classmates and yelled at them
Rikan,
on the street.
sure
I
nobody
made that
talks
mistake
us.
in an exam. I made that mistake in an exam, saying in the street. In an oral exam. In my first certificate oral exam. It's on the street. To make them scared or whatever. Also, my school made a few parties in the near town. That wasn't a thing for us. For us, a school wasn't a place to party. I never went to a fucking party. I didn't. I was way too entertained reading and playing the games that I couldn't during the school year because I just couldn't play games and I had to do it during the summer. And he called like 10 gypsies to ruin a few of them. And this is a father crazy world. No, not crazy world. It's a world of ignorance. It's a world of ignorance. It's what Obama created. I hope he's proud, by the way, as he talks about aliens, as he talks about fucking aliens in podcasts, as he did last week, saying that aliens are real, as he ruined society. I hope he's proud of. He won't care because he has no morality. He should be labeled a criminal for attacking the United States population and destroying social relationships. It is because of my deepest love for the United States and the British as well, for the English-speaking world, that I say that this person should be judged for treason against the very same United States. Because now he comes back to talk about aliens. He comes back to talk about aliens. Well, as he destroys society, it's a society that he created called like so. So he the gorilla in this case in 10th, 11th grade, in his free time, he searched up his classmates and yelled at them on the street to make them scared or to behave like a gorilla. A maniac, envious person who wanted to ruin somebody's days has now a baby. Well, it's like that. It's like that. In, in the 90s, this person would have been disciplined by his parents so harshly he wouldn't have had the intention of ever doing anything stupid ever again. It's what I told you, Patrick, about the pre-revolutionary maneuver. These are pre-revolutionary maneuvers, it's called. I start to test the limits of the authority. Okay, Patrick? Like the gorilla, in this case, first tested, oh, I can yell at someone and nothing happens. Oh, then I can yell to a group of people and nothing happens. Oh, then I can physically threaten people and nothing happens. Then I can start boxing people without any purpose, like a fucking gorilla, and nothing happens. And nothing happens. This is the very reason why I am in favor of a possession of weapons by the population and the enforcement of rules. I know that sometimes Pilo, for example, says that what he says about concentration camps, and I said no. People need to understand this. This is the key. Discipline, and I told it to Pilo, for example, the other day, as he told me when he took his school, or whatever, or with the other kids because they told them not to smoke. Discipline is not a concept of left or right, is what I told him, precisely what we were discussing the other day. It's not a concept of left or right discipline. Hmm? It's not that you are right wing because you enforce discipline. Even the most authoritarian leftist regimes, people, even the worst, have to rely on discipline. even the Chinese, even those that the communists love so much nowadays, even those have to rely on discipline, because discipline is not a concept of left or right. It is a required component of human life. It's not a right-wing feature as they are saying now. No, they're saying that because they want to execute a pre-revolutionary maneuver financed by China on the West. The only one who should be bombarded for trying all of this is China, exactly as Donald Trump is saying. But not because he's a genius or whatever. He has had a lot of courage, though. He has had a lot of courage and he has been an incredible leader. But it's because it's what reality is presenting to us, people. You cannot have people like the one Patrick is describing that precisely agree, a maniac, envious person who wants to attack people randomly, have a baby at 18 and ruin the baby's life and everyone around him. The person needs to be disciplined. There needs to be discipline in a society. And no, this is not attacking freedom. This is a matter of teaching people to mature. People need to be mature. This person is not mature what he's describing. It's behaving like a fucking animal. And we are not animals. And when we have animals, civilization needs to step in and do its job. That's why I admire the Roman Empire. That's why I admire the British Empire. And that's why I admire the United States. Because they bring civilization. It's called civilization. Oh, they massacred the indigenous population of the Americas and blah blah. It's called civilization. People were behaving like beasts
If my time
here.
investigating Darth Nal's work has taught
Okay.
me anything, she did not like visitors.
I do not fear the dead.
So it's
I knew the moment you
civilization.
finally understood your limitations.
This is what people
It
don't
is no
understand
secret.
of the British
hand of
attitude
the Empire should it
that
all
gave so
to
much
me. You are clever. How could
incredible
you have
things to the world, and the Roman attitude,
We
or the
were
Holy
never
Roman Empire,
truly
the Holy German Empire in between, or the United States even today. I saw a
Your
girl
expertise
covered
does have
in
its
tattoos
uses,
and heavy
however.
makeup
Get
listing
over it.
Trump between the German gentleman and,
As you wish.
and Stalin. She lives in Canada, of course, and she's from Germany originally. Well, you would be surprised, Patrick. I wanted. I think Canada has the best, the most favorable position. So it's not a coincidence. All of that zone of Canada, Greenland, precisely as Trump is interested in it. All of that zone has a very advantageous position. The part of North America, it doesn't have any
Do you know what this is?
immediate external threats
No, of course you
nearby.
don't.
It's a reason why the
A
United States is
mouth,
the superpower of the
shells,
world.
and teeth. Amusing. But look at this. You've saved me so much time, Rivix.
Don't do anything foolish.
So pretty much a girl covered in tattoos and heavy makeup listing Trump between the German gentleman and Stalin. She lives in Canada and she is from Germany
You're
originally.
right, Sovu. We are not equals. But you do have your uses. Priority message for Darth Nox. I found something very interesting.
Kill you.
So pretty much,
I don't fear the dead either.
So pretty much.
Put it down.
Oh, that one is still alive.
Of course. Tau Adair, isn't it?
I'm not here to talk.
What a shame.
I love this. Oh, they've turned every single person into African Sith lady or Mandalorian lady and etc. There's no other possibility. I see. There's no other possibility. I see. Regarding this, it's very representative. I'm offended. I will just say that I'm offended that we don't have any Italian white Sith ladies and everything. No, it has to be like that. It has to be like that. It has to be like that. And if not, they need to be an effeminate guy with makeup on him. Well, whatever, people. Here we go. So, the girl covered in tattoos, heavy makeup, lives in France between a German gentleman and Stalin. She lives in Canada and she's from Germany originally. Yeah, well, pretty much. I can only feel pity. Pretty much, and it's terrible because Canada has a perfect position for having the best living standards in the world, just like the United States. No immediate threats alongside it, nothing at all.
Your hospitality is awe-inspiring.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
You found something belonging to Darth Nod.
What is my last question? What is your opinion about girls sharing private vlogs about her kid, birth, etc., and sexual information to TikTok or Instagram for entertainment purpose? Sexual information with his husband or whatever. No. A vlog, for example, I watch vlogs, but about, for example, traveling around the world, and the TikTokers usually say this is my TikTok persona. I'm not like this in real life. Well, that is the thing. That is the thing, people. No, that is a hypocrisy.
I do know a thing or two about ancient Sith.
No, that is hypocrisy. No, I do watch vlogs over at YouTube, Patrick, but about traveling. Simply traveling around. For example, and not showing their kids or anything about private. What you are saying about that, I say it openly. I've said it openly. I would close TikTok and potentially bombard China for inventing such a thing. I would close TikTok 100%. The part of sexual information or for entertainment purpose or the husband or whatever, no, I would label it as a crime, and the person would go to jail, as it is a clear violation of the privacy of the kid in the case of the kid that you are mentioning, or the husband, and if they both consent, and if they have children, it's still a violation to the child. In order to protect the child, I would ban the activity, and both of them would they would pay, maybe not go to jail, pay a fine so huge, the fine would be so huge that they would need to work 18 hours a day, to the point they wouldn't have any more energy to do stupidity in the rest of the hours of the day.
And when he inevitably gets
The married girls share that his husband's genital is not working. Okay, so she can't give oral satisfaction. This is beyond. No. Well, That's not a freedom. That's behaving like a spoiled beast, and the person needs precisely discipline in her life. The husband should definitely leave her immediately. First of all, first of all. But should that not happen, I would, if she keeps publishing that publicly to social media, I would implement a fine so big that she wouldn't have the idea of doing that. And then, as a second measure, of course, I would try to bomb China to get rid of the social media doing that, if that is the origin. If the origin is in the United States, apply a fine so huge, so huge to the company. I don't know if TikTok is Chinese or American. I think it was Chinese. Uh, Apply a fine so huge for allowing that, and not banning the content out of protection for the people. The fines would be just so high that they wouldn't think about doing so. But above all, above all, the first idea is that education should lead the person to not do it out of her own willingness. Out of her own
Just try.
willingness.
I know you have it in you.
That's not what your precious Jedi said.
It's what I'm saying.
The first thing is education, Patrick. Education rules the nation. In that sense, education rules the nation. I would in that sense make sure that the educational system is so efficient.
Enough! I found my way without your sorcery.
The educational system.
With this. She gave me a choice: die or fight back.
In that sense.
And I excelled, Sahar. The day I became a Mandalorian, I knew I found my home.
I hoped you would find success. You always had fire.
I had little choice. Some earn what they have. Some are given everything.
So basically that.
Some lose it all.
You dare speak to me about suffering?
That is basically the case. Education would prevent all of those situations from happening, but the educational system, you need to understand, Patrick, that
Even the best armor has flaws.
it's been
Spaces
designed.
between plates of Beskar steel where blood can be drawn. The events of Ruh-Nuk have shown me our flaws. I planned for Shevisla to find us. She did. I challenged her and was nearly defeated. An outcome that was not expected. How could my plans so miss the mark? I asked myself. I looked and finally found my answer. Someone did not honor their agreements. Someone valued credits over their own life. Bask's son used one of his pretty machines to make sure I didn't win the duel. He died like a coward.
Hey, that's not right. I destroyed the machine.
We lost to Ruh-Nuk. Because of me, we gained a great deal more.
So
Sahar, can you come up here?
basically,
This one brought me something taken from the clutches of Darth Malgus. Something so powerful both the Sith and the Jedi race across the galaxy to claim it. With Sahar's help, we can unlock
so basically,
secrets.
the educational
you,
system has been
Do
designed.
this. It's not safe.
You're right. It's never safe to change a galaxy. Never easy to fight corruption and hypocrisy. But your brother said you would face anything to restore balance.
So basically,
Each
with
of
an
you
educational
will
system
gather the
designed like
resources needed
this,
to make
is
my
done on
vision a
purpose.
reality. You will have
But
your
if it were
assignments,
different, it
but
wouldn't be
none
the
will know
case.
the
As it
whole
wasn't in the
plan,
90s, it
except
wasn't in the
myself
80s, it wasn't in the 70s,
and
nothing at all.
Sahar. At long last, we will take back
I'll
what
go
is
now. Thank you
ours.
for the great conversation. Have a good night. No, thank you. Thanks to you, Patrick. Thanks to you, Hard Eraser. No, thanks to you, Patrick. I deeply appreciate them. And nice to see I had a proper uh, impact somehow. Well, you got a lot of face
I
in that
meant to
sense.
say before,
No, somehow I
I ran
got a
into
positive
your old
impact
friend when
on
I found
society in that
Null's
way.
relic,
In you,
Adair.
that sense.
She
Because you
proved
can
quite
see that
flawed.
all I say is with
She
logic
tries so fiercely to hide her
and some
contempt,
solid points.
yet she
Have a
fails
great night, Patrick. See
spectacularly.
you on Thursday if you are available.
The Jedi must be looking into Darth Null's history
So
as well.
pretty much.
We did what they couldn't. We captured Malgus. What makes them think they'll find anything before we do?
Determination bordering on obstinance, delusion disguised as confidence, all typical of the Jedi. I'm sure they're desperately searching for their wayward Padawan.
Over here, I do believe I found something. But first, you must tell me more about this containment device you encountered. What did it look like? How did it work?
The intricacies of the device were fascinating. I would be more than happy to go over the details.
I want to hear more about what you've uncovered. I sense something violent about this relic. The longer it's in my presence, the feeling grows stronger.
Your perception is spot on, as usual. From the results, I can say with certainty that what you found is the remnant of a lightsaber. But there is more to the story.
That is quite the find. You did well.
I aim to please. My equipment also found microscopic fragments of the lightsaber's power source. By all indications, the crystal used to construct the weapon originated in the Adika system.
That is curious. Before recent decades, Sith did not typically use Adegan crystals. They were favored by Jedi in Darth Null's lifetime, if she lived as long ago as we hypothesize.
So, why did Darth Null have a lightsaber that was built like a Jedi's?
A very pertinent question.
The answer may be more apparent than we think. We know Darth Null created the Children of the Emperor. Perhaps she used the crystals in her method of binding Jedi prey to her master.
What else could she have built with them?
In theory, the possibilities are limitless from all she seemed to know. Someone who does not shy away from knowledge, no matter its source, in order to create, to expand their awareness. It is admirable.
I'm not sure the victims of Null's mind control techniques would agree, but I see your point. This might be the time to speak to Malgus again. You can ask about the interesting discoveries we've made here today.
I can't shake the feeling that Malgus doesn't know Darth Null as well as he thinks he does. It's time I found out for sure.
I do not envy you having to attempt any sort of communication with that ill-tempered brute.
Thank you both for your help on this.
It has been my pleasure.
I am more than happy to be of service. Now, Dr. Ogorob, about that containment device.
Oh damn people, we have to go back to the fleet and talk to Malgus again. Give me back Shay. In case you're interested, I'm using Shavis like here as comp because she's like the most OP ever. Did I set the invasion target at the beginning of the thing? Yeah, pretty much I set it right there. Good. Um, speak to Molgus. Old wounds. Take me to the Imperial fleet is going to lag now, I presume. Dang it, people. Dang it. What time is it? Well, it's already... Oh no, it's already late. It's already quite late. It's already 9 p.m. I know it's been a rather short stream. We'll do a bit more. And leave it here. That's why I wanted to. We couldn't progress a lot because it didn't load at the beginning. Oh well, doesn't matter. So we need to go to Molgus. There was a lot of dialogue and cinematics here today. There was a lot of dialogue and cinematics that made it slow. The progression was brutally slow because of this. Oh well. I wonder when I will be able to access Pilgrim's Retreat. Okay, this is the main hub for all players, so it's going to lag brutally like that with the stream on. It's not loading all of the players, so there we go. Let me move over here. Let me keep moving over here. And let me finish talking to Molgus a bit more. Prison level. There we go.
The chat you had with Dr. Ogorov paints a better picture of what Malgus may have been up to. Darth Nul's work on mind control says a lot, but combining Sith and Jedi toys? That's big news. Malgus following in the footsteps of someone with Jedi connections is a plot twist I wasn't expecting. Never mind Hedda Cole getting her hands on Darth Nul's holocron.
Any ideas on the holocron?
We don't, but we need to assume that whoever holds that holocron holds the advantage. Malgus has the information we need, but he isn't talking. We're not running blind, however. What we learned about Darth Nul's Jedi influence does give us something to go on, though admittedly not much.
Heads up. Looks like we have a special guest.
What do you mean? What?
Tell these droids to get out of my way. I need to speak to Malgus.
No, things don't work.
Cannot be overridden, Shay.
Some higher up is all sweaty about my past contracts with Malgus. They've got no understanding of how those things work.
One of those contracts was destroying the defense grid on Coruscant during an Imperial invasion.
I was there to do a job. I did it and moved on. You should understand that.
Perhaps, but permission to interrogate the prisoner is restricted to a select few.
I'm going to find out if he's working with Hedda, with or without permission.
Don't take this any further.
Funny, I was thinking the same thing. I need you to trust me, like back on Ruh-Nuk.
You are quite impulsive.
So, what's it gonna be?
You are quite impulsive. But
We'll
well.
work together on this.
Smart move.
Doesn't change the fact that Shay isn't on the VIP list.
Then put me on comms.
Comms? To listen in?
I can report you whatever information you require.
I don't like it. Any contact with Malgus is dangerous.
You're right, but I survived by his side longer than most. If you listen to me, we can trip him up.
This
he
is
was.
a terrible risk.
She
I'm
was
assured. We need
his
something
companion.
new to provoke Malgus.
If it helps, we'll be in full control. Something feels off. We shut everything down.
Alright, but she's going to listen to the comms, people. I see in the intro, she was the Mandalorian that... She was the Mandalorian that spent time with him. Ah, he's still here.
Bottom line, threats are useless against Malgus. He fears nothing. You keep talking about putting an end to what he wants, and we'll get nowhere. Make him think you understand. That's the key to getting anything out of him.
We do understand him.
I trust you are being treated well.
He sees right through that. Get him talking about himself.
We learned that Darth Null used Jedi techniques in her work. Did you know about that?
Do you think there is any knowledge of Darth Null that I do not already possess? It was only a matter of time before you discovered the connection. Her mastery of Jedi secrets is woven into all of her creation. Like her, my vision surmounts Jedi and Sith, Empire and Republic.
Showing our hand wouldn't have been my choice, but it got him talking. Ask about Hedda.
Is that why Hedda Cole is part of your plan? Because she's an outsider too?
I have no need for the Mandalorians or their quarrels. An endless cycle of waste and fodder. Useless.
Big talk from inside that cell.
I can understand how someone would think the Mandalorians are unreliable.
Watch it.
But I haven't once regretted having them as allies.
Not yet.
Slippery Chikari. Okay, maybe Hedda wasn't part of his plan, but something sure as hell changed.
You can't conquer the galaxy without an army.
When I am through, one will rise from the ashes.
From the ashes?
I will tear apart the corrupt systems that allow weakness to infect the galaxy. I will stop the rot. I will burn down all of their failing legacies and see who embraces the flame.
More of his mystical Osic. What about the holocron? Does Hedda have something she can use against my people?
Who whispers in your ear?
Do not ignore me, Malgus. I am not finished with you.
It is too late.
Your thoughts are plain to me, Mandalore the Avenger. Your rage consumes you.
There was a battle, and your prey slipped through your fingers.
Your people are divided, while Hedda Cole gathers her army.
You are right to come begging for answers. Hedda will destroy you.
Where is she? Tingila Hutun! Answer me!
This doesn't have to do with the hologram, people. This doesn't have to do with the holocron. She's making us waste our time. I think it was unavoidable that he was going to find out it was her.
Can you not see it? The past looms over us all, A shadow of unchanging history. There are fools who believe they can outrun the shadow. Without a flame to chase it away, it will consume them. They are doomed to repeat the same failures. None who have stood by my side have understood this. The only one who could have is my enemy.
Ooh.
A shame that you and I must remain that way.
Nothing lasts forever.
Enemy, the poor guy, is the best.
Greetings. I'm relieved you answered. I must make an unusual request.
Yes. Yes. Pilgrim's Retreat. Finally, people.
What's going on? Is everything all right?
Finally,
Yes.
Pilgrim's Retreat.
For the moment, I have been summoned by the three. What they had to say has left me disquieted. Meet me at these coordinates on Voss, and I will explain in greater detail.
I sent you to look into the origins of one of Darth Null's relics. I haven't heard any updates.
What I found. It is best if I show you in person.
Yes, finally, Pilgrim's Retreat, people. I knew I
will
was
await
close.
your arrival.
Voss.
Yes.
Well, at least it's nice this time of year.
We have enough mysteries to contend with without getting the Voss involved. They're not exactly known for being straightforward. Sana Ray sounded unlike herself. I do hope whatever she has to tell you isn't too troubling.
Yes, finally, Pilgrim's Retreat, people. Pilgrim's Retreat is at hand. Well, would you look at that? Do I have time? I don't have any more time for Pilgrim's Retreat, sadly. I don't have any more time for Pilgrim's Retreat. So I'll leave it here today, people. I started way too late today. Dang, we'll do it on Thursday. I want to have Pilgrim's Retreat unlocked. It was the final step of the things that I wanted, of my plan that I wanted to do with the game for the year. Actually, I wanted it to be last year, but since I did it on Master Mode first try, it took a lot of retries, and that simply delayed things. So, pretty much we'll leave it here, people. Pretty much we'll leave it here. We'll leave it here. Pretty much. Welcome to my Dread Palace. As you can see, I decorated it all perfectly. As you can see over there, it's absolutely amazing. I need to switch the soldiers for they are just there to remind me of the positions of the places. So pretty much I'll leave it here today. Patrick, thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing this great Tuesday with us, chatting about the gorillas and children and etc. Was a great pleasure. Thank you always for visiting me all the time. Special thanks to Ambra as well for visiting me in the past days, but I know that you are busy with the exams. Thanks to District and Flying Energies, and Pillow as well for visiting me these days. Then we need to read the YouTube subscribers because we passed the 100 mark. We are at 101. Pretty much. Then I have to read them, but well, I've been very busy all of this time, so I'll let them accumulate a bit, and then I'll read all of the thanks messages all together pretty much. But well, the YouTube channel is basically growing, people. You just need to know that. People, it's been a pleasure. See you all on Thursday. Have a great week. I'll get to study. I also have my obligations, and pretty much I'm happy that now I know that it's this one. I'll leave that one. Hang on, because this Manan veiled threats, I'll do it off stream, because the main story is clearly this one, as it says Alliance. Okay, so I'll get to that one. So people, it's been my pleasure pretty much sharing this Tuesday with all of you. It's been my pleasure. See you all in the next one. See you on Thursday, people. Bye bye, bye bye. Then we need to continue all of the projects of games that we had to do. Sorry for the for starting late and all of the frame drops, but it's basically the game engine. Nothing I could do. See you later, people. Bye bye, bye bye, bye. It's been a pleasure. Bye bye. Have a great night. Bye.